everyone, welcome to Thoughts and Treasures. My name is Connie. This is my craft room. Welcome in. First, I want to start off by saying if you are not following me or subscribed to my channel, please do so you don't miss out on any of the videos that I upload. I usually do about 4 per week, and if this is something you want to see more of, definitely subscribe. And if you want to join my Telegram or my Facebook channel, it is the best way to be notified when I actually upload them, so you don't want to miss out. If you need help finding my channel, you can go to my website, thoughtsandtreasures.com, and on there you're going to look for my link tree, and it'll have the link on there for you. So please come join us and be part of our family here. So this is what we're going to be working on tonight. We are doing Christmas in July. This is July, I don't even know what day, 15th. We're in the middle of it. This is our little Santa mug, hot cocoa. I'm not sure what we're going to call this, but we're going to call it a hot cocoa ornament. This is so cute. It's going to be a cute little ornament. And remember, ornaments aren't just for the tree. You can use them for your stockings. You can use them for banners. There's so many different things that you can use ornaments for. So please remember to keep that in mind. They're great to have around just for, little gifts you need to give neighbors, cousins, aunts, uncles, We all can use ornaments. They never go bad. All right, so first I'm going to start off by just using our simple little tape. And we're going to put all our little pieces on here because there's a lot of them. We've got our little holly. That's going to be green. This one actually, now each kit that I do is completely different. Some have score marks, some don't. Some have, more embellishing pieces, some don't. Some have just, where you paint them in. So this one, and again, you can always embellish these with other ones. So if you want, if you have something laying around that has the little berries on them, you'd be a great idea to put them on there. I, however, do not. So we're just going to do it plain Jane. But this one has the little berries where you're just going to paint on the inside. Doesn't have them on the top. This little whipped cream, let's call it whipped cream, also has these little pieces that I'm not sure, they look like bubbles to me, but they're not supposed to be. I guess they're like maybe chocolate bubbles going in from the hot choco. I swear I'm fine tonight. I really am. But we're going to do that white, and when we do that, I am going to show you how to not get the paint in the score marks, because we want to see that so we are able to paint it later. And then we have these two little pieces that are going to be white, and those are his little, and I absolutely love how they did these. I'm not sure if you can see. They are like little cottony balls. Usually they just make little, I did not design this pattern. I do think it's adorable. His little belt buckle, which we'll probably end up just doing plain yellow, because I don't have any gold. I haven't found a pretty gold one yet. We're going to move this little guy down so I can put him on it. So it's best, this tape is actually nice because then, you have all these little pieces, and look, they don't go nowhere. So I always say put your little pieces on tape and start with your backer piece, I guess you can call it, which is going to be that. Now, these marks on here, this part, are just for placement. These up here, however, are for the actual, we need those. They're the actual, so we can paint our straw. I am going to, however, you can do whatever color you want on the back. I'm doing mine black just because I just like it to be finished. I just want to cover up all the ickies. And, you can do it red if you want. I just always tend to go black just because, it's the back. I want to make sure it's the back. There you go. How about that? I don't know. I just think the black just covers everything up, and you're not going to see it. You're not supposed to see it, but you're going to see it. So I want to make sure it's covered. We have spent all of July doing crafts for Christmas. Christmas in July. Usually I don't usually do that. I'm not really sure why I don't usually, but this year we did. So we're just going to go with the flow. We've done all Christmas. Every video that I've uploaded has been a Christmas one. We do our live sales. That I do not always do just Christmas. We have not done a whole live sale for Christmas in July. And if you are not, if you're new to me and you're wondering what the live sales are, every other Sunday, and I do have a flyer posted in my group, on my website and on my Facebook page that tells you the dates. I do them every other Sunday, and it consists of like wood kits, printables, stickers, DTF transfers. I'm probably missing a couple things. Well, we do tumblers once in a while. That's on special occasions. So, you know, there's quite a, let's see, the belt needs to be black too. Let's do that first. So there's quite a little bit that we do. And I'm just going to paint this up. I do not need the score marks for this one. So you can get that schedule over there if you want and be up on what's going on. All right, so I got that, my little tape thing, but we're gonna dry this up. Yeah. Now, we got our completed finished product there. Now, I don't know what I'm doing. We're going to do the front red. Now, this part is going to be covered up, so we don't have to worry about that. All this is going to be covered up. However, the bottom is not. So, I want to make sure that I get this nice and neat. Maybe I should just do the whole thing white first. Just trying to think how I want to do that. Well, it doesn't really matter. Let me do it this way, just to make it easier. So let me babble first, because you know I got to think a couple times. So down here, this is going to be white. It is like a little part of his suit, I guess you could say. I don't know. Maybe it's part of the. I don't know. Let me think a second. Santa's suit. You don't have white down there. Oh, maybe he does around the. Sorry, it's been a while since I've seen Santa. Oh, Lordy. Well, he does have white on his suit, but I'm trying to think how it does. It goes up here and around. Yeah, I guess it does go around the bottom of it. All right, so that's part of his suit. Sorry, forgive me. Santa and I are just, you know, he hasn't been here in many years. It's been a long time. So that's the little white part of his ruffle on the suit. All right, so what I'm going to do, since white is always a very difficult color too, you gotta do 2 coats. This is a little tricky, so I'm just gonna give this whole thing a primer of white. There, we're gonna try to use words, and I'll show you how I'm gonna do this, because this score mark I definitely want to be there. So I'm just going to take my white. Oh, maybe I'll throw that over. It didn't want to stay off. I'm trying to find my. Trying to find a little sponge. So we're just going to use a little makeup sponge, and basically you want to load on, load off, load on. Load off. Less is more, and of course you got to do it 15 times, but it's okay. But you're just going to kind of pounce. This will keep the paint from entering into the score marks. A score mark is a cut in the wood. It is not deep. You have score and you also have engrave. Engrave is much deeper and darker. That's so much easier to work with, but it also takes way longer to use. To do on the what's it called, the laser. I am not good with words tonight. Whew. It's okay. So I'm just going to give this a one-sol, and this will help with my red too. Like I said many times before, if you do a base coat of white on all of your pieces, sometimes it just works out easier. Your colors just tend to pop. You don't have to do 15 coats of it. I don't know why I'm worried about that part so much, because you won't ever see it. I'm not going to. But when you do want to be mindful. If you're going to just do that part over here and then end up not doing it over here, your reds could look different on this level than this level. So I just always say do the whole thing. If you're going to do the base white, do the whole thing. Now I'm not so much worried. The belt is going to be covered and this part is going to be covered. I'm just looking at the part where I'm actually going to put the red. And if you're looking for arm exercises, this is definitely what you need to do. If you need to switch out once in a while, you can do that too. Because I'm going to tell you, this little pouncing motion is a pain. You get your arms working. But when you do the pouncing like this, it doesn't allow the paint, unless you use, you don't offload. That's the problem. You need to offload, and you're not using as much paint, so you have to do more layers. So you want to load on, load off, and then pounce. So it's kind of like, I always say it's like stenciling. Less is more, and you might have to go back 15 times. But you don't want a whole lot on your sponge. And I'm going to do this part too. Only because I don't know what color I'm going to do it. Do I want to do candy canes or do I want to do it chocolatey? I might do it chocolatey. Do like a chocolate and a caramel color. Because it's got chocolate pieces on it. I don't know. So when you buy kits from me, you will get an inspiration picture. That does not mean you can only do it that color. You can do it any color you want. But it just gives you an idea in case you're not sure where this piece goes, that piece goes. Or if you go on a little idea. Sometimes the pictures have, you know, like little embellishing marks on them. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes in my videos I do it. Sometimes the pictures don't have it. That's why I always refer back to the videos when doing things. I'm not saying, again, it's not the way you need to do it. It's just the way. There's an idea in case you get stuck and want an idea for something. So I'm going to do this one more time. Give it a nice dry, because I definitely want the bottom part nice and white. So I guess because it's rounded, I don't know, something just looks different on him with the fur. I don't know, just because maybe his belt's up higher, maybe it's just because it's rounded, I don't know. It just doesn't look like Santa. No judging. Like I said, I haven't seen him in so many years. We're not counting either. Just gonna pounce until this is all covered again. And like I said, I'm not worried about where the belt is, but I do want to make sure that where all of the red is going is the same amount of white. And then when you put your red on, you definitely want to make sure that this is completely dry. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a pink Santa. Now, no, Santa doesn't wear pink. Well, and again, I don't know. Maybe he does. Because I have seen that pink out for Christmas. May not know where the white part is on Santa's suit, but I do know that it's not pink. And then I will show you. I'm not a huge fan of the pouncing, only because it just, sometimes it leaves things like, I mean, it's pretty, don't get me wrong, but it just leaves it like you can see those marks. I'm gonna give it one more at the bottom. This is the part I really want to make sure I have nice and pretty. Alright, let that dry and let me see if I need to do it. So now, this part is also white in these buttons, so I'm just going to go ahead, and I do want to see those little spots here, so I'm going to pounce some more. If I was left-handed, I would do it left-handed. So I want to make sure I see all of those little bubbly things. I'm going to call them sprinkles. I don't know. I don't know what they're supposed to be exactly. Chocolate bubbles coming up from the cocoa. Let's just go with it. Sometimes we can't overthink things. So this kit is actually done all in 1/8 inch. Some of my kits are done in 1/4 and 1/8 inch, or just all 1/4. It just depends on which one I'm doing. So you want to make sure that if it's currently my laser that I use with the 1/4 inch, I do have to mask. None of this is masked because it's all 1/8 inch. And if you're wondering what I'm talking about, some of my other videos you will definitely see me removing a tape from it. That's called the masking. And just continue to pounce. All right, I'm going to dry this and we'll do round 2. This is almost like cardio over here. I'm going to go in with the brown and touch those bubbles up with the brown. See, I just don't like that. Let me dry it, do another coat. Sometimes you'll have to do 5, 6 coats. Because it's not a lot of paint you're putting on. Get some more white on here. It's just not wanting to cover. I don't like that. Well, we're just gonna keep working it. Eventually it's going to. Either that or my arm will give out, one of the two. Let me dry this and we'll go for coat number 75. I want this to be nice and white. I don't want it to be antique-y. There it goes. Now it's starting to cover it nicely. So sometimes when you blot with this, or dab, or whatever you want to call this, you're dabbing onto wet paint and it's just taking it back up. That's why it's important to dry in between each layer. Well, you know what? That's it. Let me do the buttons. Get it nice and dry. Alright. I'm actually going to use paint markers tonight. These are awesome. If you guys are looking for paint markers and you need, these are perfect. They are in my Amazon store, and again, you can find that link on my website, thoughtsofcheshires.com, and go to the link tree. So I'm just going to paint around. These berries, and these are fine tips, so it really makes it easier. Should have probably done that with the white. They're really nice and vibrant colors. They do come in different sizes, and there's a bold and there's like a pastel set. But they're so nice and easy to maneuver around. And again, like anything else, and you might want to do 2 coats Just dry in between, even though there's not a lot to dry. Just dry in between. And then just go over with your second coat. They're so easy to use. I love them. All right, and we're going to go in with our red for our little berries. And it's just like so perfect, so easy. If you're wanting this to do for kids, paint markers are sometimes easier to use for them than actual paintbrushes or doing anything like that. So I'm just going to do our little brown. These little bubbly things. I'm not sure how to describe this. I mean, it's really cute when it's done, when I'll show you. But, let me make sure this is dry. You know, I'm going to try one time before I do this. Before I put this on, we're going to try one more thing. I'm going to take a sanding block, and we're going to sand. To see if that helps. Let's move these down here. Let's do one more layer of white and see if the sanding helped. Because what I want to do is more pouncing. Actually, it does look a lot better. Solution. Get that completely dried. Now, while that's drying, I'm going to take, let's see if this is going to look right. I'm just going to use markers on all this. We're going to take our yellow to do our belt. Since these are all small pieces, the paint markers are a really good choice to use. Try that real quick. Easy peasy. All right, now this should be dry. We're going to go in with our little brown. We're going to use the same brown and just do our little dots. I don't think they need to be done, but that's okay. And so far, all of our pieces are like that. Now I'm gonna come back in here with the red. Now this part I am gonna, there's more red on here. I'm gonna actually use red. Let's see, bright red. And I'm gonna use a paintbrush on this. No dabs. Look at him. Trying to find a nice fine paintbrush, nice fine toothbrush. I'm gonna get in here first. Just take your time. Sometimes that requires a little bit of patience. And if you want to use a paint pen for this too, you know, you're more than welcome to. It all works the same. Now I'm not being so neat up here with the belt because the belt is going to cover this. I'm just mainly trying to get below here around these score marks. Now I'm going to go to a bigger brush. And we're just going to paint up here. I'm not worried about the score marks there either. Give him a nice pretty bite. Shoot, we might have to put in a second coat on here, but that's okay. Over here. Let's get this good dry, and then we'll do second coat on it. Just go in with our brush. Let's see if I use a different brush, but we could just go. Get a nice even coat on here. I think that's why I prefer the foam brushes. You get less streaks in it. much better. And again, don't worry about it does look a little strange, and it's okay. Now, I do want to use, and I think I'm going to use these little pens. We've got, they don't tell you what color they are. That's the only thing I don't like, so I'm not sure. I can't tell you it's a this or that, but I'm gonna go in. We're just gonna do brown in this caramel color. I guess we'll just go. I do need to do that little piece in the red. Oh, let me do that real quick. Let that dry while I'm doing that. And then we'll do this side. And then, I don't know, this is a golden yellow color. Let me actually dry this first. Hopefully it'll look okay. We'll find out. Oh, I think that's pretty. Oh, that's kind of cool. I like that color. Good combination. Sometimes it surprises me. I like that. That looks pretty good. Alright, so now we got all our pieces done. Everything is ready for assembly. So now comes the fun part, putting it together. I am going to actually use, like I always do, my Elmer's glue super glue. My super glue wood glue. Lord, I tell you, tonight's just been a whole bunch of nothing. And I am going to show you, so like on the side here, actually I'm going to do that first. I am going to take, while I have everything apart, so see how I got the white on the side here? We're going to fix that first. It's nice and wet there. Why am I going to put my fingers in it? So I'm just going to run. Carefully so you don't get it on the front. To do that. Now, do you have to do that? And if you don't want to, you don't have to. I'm just giving you an option. then just all around. Oh, I missed a little bit there. I saw it in the mirror. Perfect. Easy. Solves it all. Alright, now I can start gluing this together. And I'm just going to use my super glue wood glue. I do get this at the Dollar Tree if anybody's interested in knowing. And we're just going to get it on here nice and straight. Take your time. Everything should line up nicely. And let's put his little buttons on next. I'm actually going to use a little this is actually an eyeshadow brush. And we're going to just cover up those. Now you can have your little buttonholes any which way you want. All I'm worried about is getting it covered up. I'm not having a rhyme or reason. Cute, cute, cute. And let's put this little piece on. Now I put this glue on my silicone mat. If you're wondering if you can see it there, I always use a silicone mat. It's just so much easier for cleanup. I also have that linked in my Amazon store if anybody is interested in checking that out. Now normally when I do my ornaments, I can't say I've done any in 1/4 inch because they do tend to get thicker, and of course, you know, hanging on the tree, it could be, we all know how trees can be. They can be very wonky sometimes, and then the branches hang down. Let's get this piece on. Let's see which way it goes. It goes this way. I'll fix that. There's a real spot on it. Let's get that dry real quick. I like the little bottles only because, like I said, they've got the tight bond. I think a lot of people use. I just prefer the little bottle. By the time you get halfway through that tight bond, you're like shaking it for days. But honestly, any glue will work. Sure I got it nice and even. I have a little spot over here I want to fix. And you can go back at the end and do all this, but while I see it, let's fix it. Let's get some glue on here. And you really don't need a lot of glue. Keep that in mind. Yes, it does set quickly, but it does take the whole full 24 hours to really set up and adhere. So if you buy oopsie by mistake, you might have a little struggles getting it off, but it will come off. This is really looking cute. Just take your time and even things up. If you feel there's glue coming out, there's too much, don't worry, it will dry clear. There, it's cute, cute, cute. All right, let's put our little last bubbly things on. I'm just going with, I'm just gonna go with the chocolate bubbles. We're just going with chocolate bubbles. Now I do want to fix this one because I sanded it by accident. It don't want to cooperate now. These are tiny little things. A little dab will do ya. Get that into the center. Let's get the last one. Little dab will do ya. Get on there. Make sure. Now the only thing you want to make sure is make sure you're covering up those score marks. So cute. All right, that's the last thing to go in there to put this away. I'm deciding, and I think I may. Why not? Let's just. You can just embellish it up just a little bit. I'm gonna put a beaded hanger on here, or a bead hanger. I don't know if I want to put a little bow on it or not. We're gonna decide. I did pull it out to see. I always tend to put a bead, a little hanger with a bead. I'm gonna do this first, and I'm gonna decide. I'm gonna use. Let's see if I'm gonna do two. We're gonna cut this. This is really cute. I mean, it's a lot cuter than I thought it was gonna be. So these ornaments are always fun for the kids to make. Keep that in mind. Like I said, they're such little pieces, but if you use the acrylic markers, it really does make it easier. Less paint spills, less I want to do the white one first, and then the red one. I don't know if I want to do both of these or not. I'm going to decide after I put the little bow on here if I like that or not. If not, I just might do. Got a whole stash of little bows because I make a lot of ornaments, and I do like the bows on them. I don't know if I like that bow though. Let's do this one. I think I like the red one better. Do I? I don't think I'm a fan of that. Kind of like the white one better, but let's see. Huh. Wait a minute, I'm deciding. I really like the black one better. Yeah, I think I like the black one, black and white one better. I don't know, for some reason it just looks better. Tell me in the comments if I made the wrong decision. Tell me which one you thought was better. Just gonna put this in here. Tie our little loop. Now I do this twice only because I don't want the beads to fall off. And then cut that off. I do have my little heat tool here. I think that's cute. You don't like the bow? You don't have to do the bow. I just think it needed something. Glue all over the bead. Right, now, one last thing I want to do is I'm going to take some fresh white paint and we're just going to do a little bit of just a little bit on his belt. I'm going to have paint on the floor. I always take some fresh. If you have white, I do have white on my plate. It's just been sitting there for a while. So I'm just going to do a little. And then let's get our little, did I lose it again? Nope, right here. And I'm just going to take my little dotter, once in, and we're going to go dot, dot, dot. Dot, dot, dot. I like that first one. Just to give it a little bit of something. Cute, cute, cute. Alright, now I got a mess over here. Hold on. Oh, I lost all my... I ran out of baby wipes. So all I'm going to do is just wipe this off. Clean it a little bit and wipe this off. I'm going to give this a good dry real quick and show you what it looks like. Just so I don't stick my fingers in it. And final product. So if this inspired you, if you're interested in this, you are more than welcome to say Santa, and I can get you the information. I do appreciate y'all being here with me and checking this out. Like I said, if you are new, make sure you hit that follow or subscribe button, depending on where you're watching from, so you don't miss out when I put the next video out. And with that being said, you guys remember, thoughts become things and things become treasures. I will see you in the next video.